Yeah.
That tracks.
Hey guys.
What's going on, folks?
Welcome back to That Tracks with Eythen and
Carolyn, right, with Carolyn.
oh
yeah, I almost
episode
forgot.
11, and you don't know my name.
We're in the double digits. I'm losing track.
So true. Hey, when I turned 10, becoming a double digit was like a huge in-crowd phenomenon in my little tiny school. It was like, oh, what are you doing for your double digits?
Like, actually, though?
No, 100% not a joke.
Oh, so what was your big thing?
I think I got overwhelmed and had one friend go to the amusement park with me. I think I was like, I can't handle the pressure of a double digits birthday party.
Oh my God.
No, I called my mom, but like I'm pretty sure I was like, no, let's go to Carolyn's, me, my mom and dad, and one friend. And it wasn't even like a best friend. It was just like, who can I do a one-on-one with and avoid the stress of having the perfect double digits?
Well, that friend's gonna listen now and be like, I wasn't the best friend. I wasn't the go-to.
Shout out Kirsten Burton.
Also, Carowinds?
Yeah.
What's Carowinds?
Oh my God. It is the amusement park that borders North Carolina and South Carolina, and it sits in both states.
Mm-hmm.
So like half the park is North Carolina and half the park is South Carolina.
Oh, interesting.
And it's like Six Flags.
Carolyn, Carowinds. Wow.
Yeah, you know, you're not the first to say that one.
And
I'm like, hey guys, let's go to Carolyn's. I mean, Carowinds. Oh, you're Carolyn. Yeah, all of it.
Damn.
But they do. You would love this on our hometown vlog visit to Hickory.
Yeah.
That's quite the series. A Hickory and then a West Virginia hometown visit. Guys, once we get MTV backing us, that'll be our feature.
Yeah,
That's our short.
Yeah, that's our short. Yeah.
That's our long. That's our full length doc.
Oh yeah, no, we're doing a full length doc. Actually, docu-series. It'll be on Max.
Docu-series.
Well, it's not funny.
Oh.
It's very serious. It's very serious.
Informational.
Yeah.
Public service.
Yeah, we're actually talking about all some of the crises in our state.
Right, we want to raise awareness.
Yeah, opioid crisis. And
you're right, there was no joke. Eythen took it to, and it's true. It's really sad in North Carolina.
Yeah, and see that this is why we're being serious about this. This is a comedy podcast, but we are at the end of the day artists, and we care about
cultural theorists,
and we care about the country.
Public health,
the public health in the country. Both of those things.
And that tracks.
That tracks. I'm Carolyn. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I just
Carolyn's.
Yeah, Carolyn's. I'm sorry. I'm just really. I'm a little tired. I think.
Oh, you are.
I'm a little tired. I didn't get a lot of sleep.
Dang, you were up late doing pottery.
Yeah. Pottery. You want to say anything cooler?
Viper arts.
I was doing fiber arts so late last night. I was making the coolest art out of fibers. And I was just like, I just lost track of time. So I really need a boost. So if it's all right, I got a little 5-hour energy right here. Now, Carolyn, have you had one of these?
Never in my life.
Would you like one of these? Nah, I'm kidding. I'm joking. I only got the one. I'm joking.
No, somehow the public health education I got in North Carolina was cigarettes are the unhealthiest thing ever, and 5-hour energies. Do crack. Just don't have a 5-hour energy.
Well, I think that's incorrect. Because there are a lot of things unhealthier than cigarettes and 5-hour energy.
That and premarital sex. They'll kill you.
Now, premarital sex, that is dangerous. So yeah, I have a 5-hour energy here. I'm gonna drink it. See, I don't really drink these. I'll be honest. I had my first one, I think, a couple weeks ago.
Is it just a condensed Red Bull?
100%, yeah. But like double.
2 Red Bulls in a single shot.
2 Red Balls, yeah.
Do you knock it back like a tequila?
A what?
Like a tequila shot? Tequila.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like, please use a real word. I don't know what this word is. Cheers.
Cheers. No blessing, just cheers.
No blessing. I don't need to be blessed.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Woo!
So loud.
Those are the most comical swallows I've ever heard. Did you do that on purpose, or is that just your body working?
That was just my body working.
Wow. Did it work immediately? Maybe take a big inhale with it. Let your shoulders relax.
Now he's got shit. No, I'm kidding. Well, that's the thing with caffeine. It just makes you shit. You know?
I almost said something so funny, but kind of mean, so I didn't say it.
We throw it out. Worst case, we'll cut it.
Maybe if you just gave your body some vegetables, You wouldn't need caffeine to shit. Fiber makes you shit.
That's not mean at all. That's the truth.
I didn't want to be mean about how you don't really eat vegetables.
No, you don't have to be mean about that. It's the truth. I should be shamed for that.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Well, then, yeah. Maybe if you ate some lettuce, you'd shit regularly and the caffeine wouldn't affect your bowel movements. Because I have caffeine every day. Mm-hmm. I would not say my excrement schedule follows my caffeine patterns. I would say it more follows my vegetable, fiber, legume.
Yeah, I mean that's what the folks are saying. That's what the folks. That's what I hear. But I'm an artist through and through. My everything about me is experimental. My work, my shit schedule, it's all free form, and that's what I like to praise. Free form art, free form experiences.
Wow, that's why we're a great pair. Because I need help thinking outside the box a little bit.
Don't eat vegetables.
Radical.
Yeah.
Radical living. Radical resistance. Don't eat vegetables.
Don't eat vegetables. Yeah, man.
Wow. Not co-signed by Carolyn Aslery. Please eat your veggies.
No, I'll forge a signature. Yeah, no, she co-signed that one.
Have you ever checked out Michelle Obama's My Plate? Give it a listen. Give it a look.
Is it a movie or?
No, it's an infographic.
Oh.
Michelle Obama's My Plate infographic.
Oh wait, yeah, it's like the plate and it has
Yeah. Half veggies, quarter protein, quarter starch.
Too many veggies. Where's the fruit?
Well, it can be half veggie, half fruit. But produce, like...
Let's make it all fruit. Carolyn, how are you doing?
Eythen, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Really kind.
Yeah, of course.
It is a very exciting time in New York because of the theater scene.
Right, yeah.
Tony nominations are happening when this podcast comes out.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah, they're like next week from today.
Oh, wow.
And the Tony's Awards are early June, like the first weekend in June usually. So now, basically all of the shows in New York have a deadline of when their show needs to be officially open to be considered for the Tony nominations for this season.
Oh, okay.
So your show I don't know the date, but your show has to be open, let's say by April 25th in order to be eligible for the Tonys. And so late March and really early April are just an opening frenzy across Broadway theater. Okay. This is really Broadway we're talking about because the Tonys are only Broadway.
Right.
And so I've been seeing a lot of theater. And then the indie communities and the off-Broadway and the academic communities aren't like that far off from the schedule. Like a lot of people are doing shows in April.
Yeah.
So it's just a fun time in the theater community. And Eythen, you and I went on a little journey to the Great Broadway.
We did. I saw my first Broadway show, which was exciting.
Guys, I was there. It was magical.
Yeah. What did we see?
We saw John Proctor is the Villain, written by Kimberly Bellflower, featuring Sadie Sink, directed by Danya Taymor, at the Booth Theater. Woo! Guys.
Wow. Yeah.
We saw an incredible play on Broadway, Eythen's first Broadway show.
Absolutely.
And the Broadway debut of our dear mentor, friend, former professor, idol, artistic contemporary, Kimberly Bellflower.
Kimberly Bellflower. Yeah, it was wild. It was a wild experience. I remember first reading the play John Proctor in Kimberly's playwriting class. This was like 2021, I think. Yeah, and it's wild to like read that draft and see this stage performance of it, this Broadway performance of it. It's
to see your first Broadway play being Kimberly Bellflower's play John Proctor's The Villain.
Yeah,
you read a draft of 4 years prior.
It's like it just feels so like full circle with it feels so full circle.
Yeah. So for those of you unfamiliar, Eythen and I both went to Emory University. We both took classes in the theater department. And Emory has a playwriting major, and it's not a program that a lot of colleges have, and not a lot of liberal arts colleges have a playwriting degree. And so Emory brought in a playwriting fellow. They were trying to like put a little more steam into the department, into the faculty, and they brought in a playwriting fellow during me and Ethan's time in undergrad, who was like, I think recent MFA graduate at that point.
I believe
Kimberly Bellflower.
I believe so, yes.
She got her MFA at University of Texas, Austin, and she came to Emory as like a visiting playwright who gets some support for their research, for their writing. They also teach. It's a stipend. It's a fellowship.
Yeah.
And Eythen and I were both lucky enough to be some of Kimberly's early students at Emory.
Yeah, absolutely. I I was very much involved in her playwriting classes. Kimberly is probably the biggest reason why I consider myself to be a playwright or like an artist, let alone. I think she pushed me a lot to explore my humor, my like these themes that I like, such as masculinity. Yeah, it just overall gave me this sense of confidence that I could pursue this or explore this. Yeah, and what?
So yeah, she came in only at my senior. You had her as a sophomore or as a junior?
I junior, but I guess we met during my sophomore year because she was the advisor for Linnea, which is the student-run playwriting festival,
which was super impactful for you.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, that really got me in. I think it got me into acting, then just further into playwriting, which is.
And correct me if I'm wrong. You didn't get involved with theater or film at all until college.
Yeah. I got into theater. It was my sophomore year. There was this like viral plays festival that was like a set of 10-minute plays presented over Zoom
during the pandemic.
It was that, and then I learned about Linnea. I got involved there as like again a virtual actor, and then my first play I like acted in, or my first real acting thing, was my junior year with Everyone Calls Her Grace, and Emery play.
Crazy, incredibly written, like new exciting piece of theater to make your acting debut.
Yeah, and
that's wild.
Yeah,
written by Ozzie Wagner. Shout out,
Ozzie Wagner. Absolutely. Yeah, it's bizarre. Yeah, thinking back of like this life trajectory of like, okay, very STEM focused, getting a little into creative writing, getting into playwriting, and then just jumping all the way into theater. It was a huge thing. And Kimberly Bellflower, again, the biggest reason for that, I'd say.
She's one of her strengths. I mean, she has so many strengths, but something really impactful about her as a mentor is how genuinely encouraging she is of like really anything you want to explore. She's very much a yes and teacher of like, that's a great idea, let's expand on it. She only exists to lift you up, to make you feel empowered, to give you the tools, to give you like the touchstones of the canon. Like she has great recommended readings and playwrights to learn about.
Yeah.
And also like encouraging you to create. So my story with Kimberly is I'm a year older than you, so I didn't have a class with her till my senior year. I was very much in the acting track. The pandemic happened. I didn't even know if I wanted to stay enrolled or take time off. I didn't really want to do a virtual theater degree.
Right.
But I did the year of COVID school, and I did viral plays, and then I came back, and I enrolled in this class, Creating New Works, which was co-taught by Caitlin Hargraves and Kimberly Bellflower.
I love Caitlin, yeah.
For our first in-person class back on campus, like the university also allowing 2 professors, like even just admin-wise.
Yeah.
And basically it was like adaptation focused. You are just going to make things. All of you have various backgrounds as writers, actors, fans of theater, songwriters, and we are just going to like consistently learn about a piece or a style or a movement. You'll be in teams or solo. You'll adapt it into your own short project based on XYZ.
Right.
You'll present it. You'll get feedback. Moving on.
Yeah.
And that was hugely transformative because I had been struggling with like, as an actor, am I just really good at being told what to do? Like I wasn't feeling very creatively connected to being an actor. I wasn't really feeling that creatively fulfilled by it. It was more just, I had like been performing back to back to back for so many years that I was kind of just like, I'm a show pony. Give me my lines and I'll perform for you.
Right.
And she and Kimberly and Caitlin together really were like, no, queen, you have thoughts in that brainy poo. What if you tried writing? They both really pushed me to do music. They pushed me to like write on the piano, which I had never done. They were like, they were just so encouraging and like looked at the skills and the interest you already had and expanded on them. And then my last semester of college, I took female contemporary playwrights taught by Kimberly Bellflower, belovedly called Lady Playwrights by the students. And it was my last semester at Emory. It was like such an awesome farewell to school. And I wrote my only ever creative anything ever. Like I had only been a persuasive writer, never taken creative writing.
Yeah.
And I wrote my first like little piece of written art for her.
Oh wow.
Yeah, based on the plays we've been reading and about my experience growing up. It's kind of about like performed sexuality and adolescence and so we just love Kimberly Bellflower.
Yeah, no, she is she's one of a kind in the best way possible. And
so
I mean I'll keep it real. We could probably do a whole hour talking about the ways that we adore Kimberly Bellflower.
And we didn't even talk about how good the play is.
Oh yeah, and I was just about to lean into that.
Yeah. It's 2018 in small town Georgia in the wake of like Me Too and all of these men in power getting accusations and about sexual assault, about sexual misconduct, and these young teenage girls who are studying the crucible in school. Yeah. Kind of how those themes interconnect, how they're being impacted by the stories of like Abigail and John Proctor.
Right.
And it's cool. So it's a group of high school students in an English class kind of interpolating the text that they're studying with the social events of Me Too 2018.
Exactly.
In small town Appalachian, Georgia.
Right, yeah.
So the play's fantastic. Eythen read an early draft. I didn't read it in class in Edinburgh, but I had read an earlier version of it. And we're just so proud of Kimberly. We feel so lucky to be some of her students and get to be so personally impacted by an artist that incredible. And it's so cool to see someone who we knew was that special get industry acclaim. And so we were saying that the reviewers hadn't come yet. The critics hadn't come yet when we saw it.
Yeah, but now
and then the critics came, and it's a New York Times critics pick.
Of course.
It's like there's this little infographic that comes out of like how many thumbs up, how many hand neutral, and how many thumbs down. And it's like, you know, for every show opening right now, they all get one. And, you know, some of them it's a whole mix of reviews.
Of course,
it's like all thumbs and like 2 sideways hands.
Right.
People just love it. The cast is being applauded. It's awesome. Kimberly's highlighting all these young, early career kind of new faces. They're all like early 20s.
Right.
Sadie Sink is back on Broadway, if you're a Stranger Things fan.
Right, yeah. The last show she did was... what was her last show?
She did Annie.
Like
10 years ago.
She did Annie, yes.
On Broadway.
Yeah.
I think the version Jane Lynch was in. Shout out.
Shout out. But yeah, please see this play. It's humorous, it's heartfelt, and I think it captures a lot of... it is our generation. That's big here. And,
Noah was saying that it takes place as a junior spring in 2018, and you were a junior in high school in the spring of 2018.
Right, and it can really capture so much of that youth. It's incredible. It's incredible.
And we love John Proctor as the villain, and we love you, Kimberly.
Yeah, we love theater.
We love theater.
And maybe that's a good segue into my topic for today.
Yeah, it's a surprise. I don't know it.
It's a surprise, and it's not theater exactly, but it's theatrical, and I think you would enjoy it. And I think that this could be my first win of the series so far.
No, you have wins.
What was another win that I've had?
Sharktopus.
Oh, okay. Really? That was a win for you?
Yeah, I was like, it sounded the least viscerally upsetting of most of the things you recommended.
Okay.
It seemed the campiest, so that I didn't think I would have like an overwhelm of like the puking of Upchuck or the
mold of Bar Rescue.
The mold of Bar Rescue, the fear horror of Man in the Suit.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like that one I was like, yeah, I could be at an apartment kicking it and someone puts this on and I laugh at it.
Well, folks, if you're keeping track, you're tallying that up, give me 1 point. Give me 1 point. Carolyn, I think, has 9. Because she's won me over every time. Maybe 8. All this to say, I'm going to get my 2nd point today. Because the album I'm talking about an album, first off. It is the Normal Album by Will Wood. Pause for the applause and the clapping. Woo!
I have never heard of the album or the artist.
Okay. I have a lot of notes. Don't worry. I have a lot of notes. So first off, so you haven't heard of Will Wood?
No. Okay.
That's okay. So I got into Will Wood around 2019, 2020, around the pandemic, honestly. I heard about Will Wood through a friend I hadn't listened to at the time. But then I saw a TikTok with one of his songs playing. And I'm like, oh, I kind of like his voice. I like his lyrics. And then I found the Normal Album, and I loved it. So the Normal Album is set up, and this is why I think you'd like it. It's very theatrical. It's a lot of different genres. It's mostly indie alternative rock.
Okay.
But there's like some it's really like it exists on its own.
Okay.
Yeah. It's indie alternative rock. There's like some doo-wop elements in there. There's some like jazz elements in there. It's blending a lot of stuff.
I like the idea of all of that.
Yeah, it's...
You think it's going to be a win? So maybe I do like it. I like that stuff.
Well, wait for it. I think I'm gonna lose her soon. It's set up... Will Wood, as an artist, explores... A lot of his songs talk about mental illness. It talks a lot about disassociation, about gender identity. All these interesting spaces. And this album, Normal Album, is I think that the summation of that, of him exploring what it is to be normal and questioning these ideas of normalcy.
Is it sad?
It's not sad. The thing is that it's a really upbeat album. That's why I love it.
In musically or lyrically?
Well, musically.
And lyrically, we're in the dumps?
Lyrically, some of them can be in the dumps. But a lot of them, I think, take absurdist approaches to these more depressing topics. They're like, okay, we're existing in this space, and the only way to escape the absurdity is to be happy with it. You know, like the Camus line, one must imagine Sisyphus is happy.
Like the what line?
From Albert Camus. Okay, brief tangent. Albert Camus was a philosopher who developed the idea of absurdism. Absurdism exists in our wants of life and in the world, in the silence of the world. There's this contrast there. So we want something the world is not listening and doesn't give us that space. So Camus proposed the idea that the only way to escape absurdism is to accept the absurdism. And so in the idea of Sisyphus, one must imagine Sisyphus is happy as he rolls the boulder up the hill. He rolls the boulder up the hill, it falls back down, and he does it again.
Cool.
And I think that's what Will Wood is doing, where he's like, okay, these things, they exist. And the only way to do it is to accept that.
So here's the thing.
Okay.
I don't like touching anything icky sad with a 10-foot pole.
Now, this is where I lost her, I think. This is where I think I may have lost her. But why don't we get into the songs here, and then we'll go from there. Because I think what I also love, musically is fast-paced. I love, fast-paced music. And lyrically, he just has a lot of fun wordplay, a lot of, lines that stand out, a lot of good stuff. And I'll read a few examples.
Cool.
So let's get into a few of the songs. You just get an idea of the vibe for it.
Yeah.
So first off, the first song is called Suburbia Overture, Greetings from Marybelle Township, Vampire Culture, Love Me Normally. All one title.
What's the punctuation?
It's Suburbia Overture / Greetings from Marybelle Township / parentheses, Vampire, close parentheses, Culture / Love Me, normally. The punctuation is very important. He loves punctuation here.
I like punctuation.
I love punctuation, yeah. My favorite punctuation, ellipses. I love an ellipses. I love a semicolon.
I thought semicolons were kind of quirky. You don't know how to use it? I do.
Yeah, I'm a semicolon sun, a ellipses moon, and I'm a exclamation mark rising. I think that's where I'm at. I think that's maybe a question mark Venus. I think I'm there too. Yeah.
That was so fucking awesome.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So this first song, I think, sets up the structure of the album. But with these, the slash indicates the various breaks. So Suburbia Overture starts out with the classic doo-wop of we're in a suburbia. Yeah. The things are normal. We have our white picket fences. Normal in the sense that the things are normal. I guess normal in the most basic sense.
Cool. And
then it jumps into Greetings from Marybelle, which is sort of a reference because he has this comic series that he wrote that takes place in a town called Marybelle.
Cool.
Or it's a character, Marybelle. Marybelle is related to the comics.
Okay.
And Vampire Culture...
The comics about suburbia?
They
take place in?
They take place in a suburbia, I believe, but they talk a lot about addiction. That's okay. So it gets into that. There's some addiction talk in the album too. And then it shifts to Vampire Culture, which is the shift in the song that's very hard and heavy. And we see this new character for Will Wood, where it's okay, we have the normal, and now we have the counterculture, the attack against the normal, if you will. And then it ends with this ballad of Love Me Normally, which we'll get into later, because that will be a title of one of the other songs.
Love Me Normally?
Love Me Normally, which I love. So before we get into the next song, I want to read some of the lyrics, because this is what I love. Will Wood's lyrics are so just absurd and visceral, and I'm really into that. During the Vampire Culture bit, this is when we get into the harder, more harsh space. And one of the lines is, I dropped my eyeballs in the bonfire. We fucked on a bed of nails. I got Kuru from your sister and died laughing in jail.
I got Kuru?
Kuru.
What is Kuru?
Kuru is a disease that is connected to cannibalism.
Oh.
Yeah. Specifically speaking, there was a tribe in Papua New Guinea Yeah, we're getting into the history of this. This is a lot of history, a lot of deep shit. There was a tribe in Papua New Guinea that like culturally and traditionally practiced cannibalism, and they would eat the brains. And as a result, they developed this disease called Kuru because it's a prion disease which exists in the brain. So if you consume the brain, then you'll have this disease. And it's the reason why it says laughing in jail is because it's considered a laughing disease, and that first of all you get kind of like the shakes, you get tremors.
If you eat brain?
Oh well, yeah. If you eat brain infected by Kuru. And
it's just a bacteria?
Well, it's a prion, and like that's.
What's a prion?
A prion is like bacteria adjacent. It's more of a protein, I guess, in that way.
And it just already exists in the brain?
It doesn't already exist in the brain.
How does it get on a dead brain?
I think that's related to preparation.
So if you eat brain according to proper sanitation rules, you won't get prion. Is it like salmonella just happens to be in your eggs sometimes?
Kind of, yeah.
Prion happens to be in your brain dinner?
Yeah, that also is like a build-up.
If it cooks too long?
Well, no, not that, but like it's a build-up, like continuing to eat brains. That means it's more likely that you could develop Kuru. Like if it's a one-time thing, if you have one tribe who eats brain, then like maybe that won't happen. But if it continues down that pathway, it's more likely.
So it's like a warning of don't eat too much human brain?
It kind of, yeah.
Clearly, I don't really have a baseline understanding of cannibalist health.
Yeah, and I don't either.
Sure, Eythen.
No.
Sure, you don't know all about what happens to the human body if it eats too much human brain on an island.
Yeah, exactly. Guilty.
Can I tell you what I'm caught up on? Like my hesitation to being fully on board?
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't want to think about addiction or sad things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to think about depression. I don't want to think, like, my media has to be utopian escapist.
You're missing out. You're missing out. Yeah, so that's the first song. Let's move on to a few other ones. Laplace's Angel, hurt people, ? Hurt people, !
Laplace?
Laplace's Angel.
Who's Laplace?
Great question.
You know all this shit? I've like never come across any of these words.
It was for a while I didn't. It was only after because I wanted to write like a video essay about this for a while.
Yeah.
Because I've always wanted this to be a jukebox musical, and it has the perfect setup to be a jukebox musical. So I've thought a lot about that, and I want to write a video essay about it because there's so much going on with it. So I've done research on these bits.
Yeah.
So Laplace's Angel is a take on this idea of Laplace's demon.
Okay.
Laplace was I believe mostly a philosopher who proposed this idea of a Laplace's demon, which is this entity that is aware of the position of every particle in the universe. And if it is aware of every particle in the universe, then therefore it knows about the entire past and the entire future. And basically Laplace is using this to explain like determinism and how everything is predetermined. Locked in?
No, yeah, I like the philosophy. I mean, I just would also... there's a little sticking point for all of these of like, demon. Let's talk about angels.
See, that was what was most interesting, because I was trying to figure out why a demon in particular, because that is what was throwing me off, and I couldn't get a real clear answer there. So I like Laplace's Angel being used instead of demon here for the song title, because it's...
Of like all that knowledge being benevolent instead of evil?
Exactly. Like the whole song itself is this idea of the singer questioning, am I bad? And slowly learning that like, it's all predetermined, this idea of whether I am bad or I'm not bad. It's I can't really change that. Which in one way is like it can be upsetting to be like, everything's predetermined. There's nothing I can do. But with this absurd logic that Will applies to the album, it's like, there's nothing I can change. So I might as well just fuck around. I'm
noticing how lyrically driven. Like, the music I listen to is not super lyrically driven. Mm-hmm. And we've talked about this. Right, I hear kind of words as the last piece of the puzzle. Mm-hmm. I feel like he's a philosophic poet. He is
100%. No, Will Wood is without a doubt very lyrically driven and very intentional with his words. Sometimes it can feel all over the place, but it's so intentional and so specific in the best way possible. So I love LaPlace's Angel. I think that was my favorite. A popular song that folks really like is I, Me, Myself. I/me/myself. That one's a bit about gender identity. That one was Will exploring his gender queerness at the time. And one of the big lines is, I wish I could be a girl, and that way you'd wish I could be your girlfriend, boyfriend. And that is a big returning point of like his identity in relation to others, and that exploration there.
Yeah.
So I Me, Myself, very popular on TikTok, and it's a good song.
And what's the music doing?
The music, that one is interesting. It's still very upbeat, but it's one of the softer tracks. It's more easygoing. It's like fast and upbeat, but still easygoing.
So a good entry point to
sound. I Me, Myself is probably the best entry point if you wanted to get into this album. The next song, Outliers and Hypocrites, a fun fact about apples. This one is a lot about mental health. What I love about this is he does a lot of plays on classic phrases. Like he has this line of like freaks of nurture instead of freaks of nature.
Cool.
Yeah, he has that. He has too weird to love, too scared to die. Play on too weird to live, too rare to die. The things that make you special are the things that make you strange. Again, tackling these themes of like normalcy and questioning what is normalcy in that way.
Yeah.
In the opening line about the reference, a fun fact about apples refers to the opening snippet that's talking about how, folks are looking at the outside of the apples, looking at the skin, but they're never sure about the worms in it or what's inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this question of exterior normalcy, interior, maybe not as normal.
That's kind of, I should have planned this as my pairing today. The musical Next to Normal kind of explores all of this.
I was just thinking of that as I was listening back and thinking of like musical theater. I'm like, oh, this is, I see. So I was not as familiar with the musical, but I see.
I'll do a Next to Normal episode. Also, your shirt is like the exact colors of the Next to Normal.
Oh, cool. Yeah, my shirt's from the band Clipping.
Are those toenail clippings?
No, they're teeth.
Why'd you tell me that? I was looking at it this whole time, not even freaked out.
Did you want them to be toenail clippings?
No. I thought they looked like pumpkin seeds.
No.
That's what I was telling myself they were all morning.
Well, no, they are actually pumpkin seeds.
Aw.
Next one, Marcia, Thank You for the Dialectics, but I Need You to Leave. This one is set up, again, as a mock therapy appointment, and it's tackling folks who use their mental illness as sort of their singular identity.
Interesting.
It's very interesting.
No, because I have thoughts on that.
Yeah, no. Will Wood themselves, they are diagnosed with like bipolar disorder.
Gang.
So yeah, this is where a lot of their like discussions of like mental illness comes into their songs. Yeah. This was the first song I listened to actually on that TikTok, and then I got into the album from that. And this is another good entry point, I think, for you. That isn't like super harsh, but still like narratively intriguing. Love Me Normally. A callback to the first song, plain and simple. Love me normally. Oh, how I wish to be normal rather than pretending to be normal. It's quite good. I come back to that one a lot. This idea. And then the last song is Memento Mori, the most important thing in the world. Very simple. I don't think it's my favorite song to close with. I wish it would end with Love Me Normally. Memento Mori. The chorus is like, one day you're going to die. Plain and simple. And again, as I've stated, it's absurdist. It's like, one day you're going to die. So just do your thing. Plain and simple. And that is the normal album by Will Wood. It's one that I come back to very often. It's like every time there's a Spotify Wrapped, there's always like at least 4 songs on there. Yeah, honestly, it's probably one of my favorite albums. I think it's like one that I don't say it is my favorite, but I'm like, oh no, I think this is for sure one of my favorites.
No, I'm interested.
Yeah.
Like, I have to be willing to open the door that holds a lot of, like, things that in my day-to-day I don't like to engage with out of, like, self-preservation.
Right.
Because it's hard to talk about the stuff that's real. And I think you have more comfort doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And in general, I try to avoid it in life.
Yeah.
I definitely want as, like, much of the good, and I'll get through whatever bad there is. But I'll find more good tomorrow. I'm like my life philosophy growing up was like seek the joy. My summer camp was very into seek the joy.
Seek the joy, yeah.
So like, why would I meditate on my sadness when I could seek joy that's like full in every moment if you look for it?
Right. Yeah.
So, but I'm a human being, and like that philosophy doesn't cover all of human existence.
Yeah.
And so there are parts of me that a lot of these concepts are intriguing to me about like normalcy and conformity and mental illness. Like all of those I have experience with. I just have to be willing to like, all right, I have my AirPods in. Today I'm going to think about mental illness. Right. Instead of like, I'm so cute, I'm Sabrina Carpenter, don't you want to love me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's so interesting. I do find myself like, not leaning into sadness, but more accepting of like sadness.
Yeah.
Yeah, of these like bits. Like I love escapism, don't get me wrong. Like you'll find me listening to Charlie. Yeah. But yeah, it's nice to be reminded of those feelings. I mean, I can listen to Charlie and also listen to Radiohead and be like, oh yeah.
Right, and also like I feel like a lot of people use music as like company when they're dealing with something. Yeah. And you're like, someone else has been through this too. Right,
exactly. Yeah, that's what music's for. Music is not singular.
So true.
It's plural.
You really thought you ate with that.
No, I know.
He knew it, didn't he? The second he said it.
Yeah, I was like, man, that did not eat. Also, I didn't eat today.
Oh, Eythen, I was hoping you would bring a snack. I'm kind of hungry.
I'm really hungry. So
it's that 5-hour energy.
Yeah, that 5-hour energy's in my stomach. The yerba mate. Yeah, exactly. Oh my god. And you know all that talk about Will Wood. I could use a cheese. Eythen,
is it cheese time?
It's cheese time.
Cheese time, cheese time, cheese time,
cheese time. Folks, this is part of the episode where I bring in a cheese for us to try. Maybe from my shop. It's not been from my shop for a while now. And today is no different. I got a cheese from Murray's. I'm excited for us to try. Folks, this is the Red Rock. Look at that guy, right?
The rind is scary.
The rind is scary. The rind is also gonna be a little stinky.
Why you do so stinky to me?
Well, it's a natural rind. It's gotta be a little stinky. So, folks, the Red Rock is interesting. It's made in Wisconsin. It's aged about 3 to 6 months, and it's a mix of a cheddar and a blue cheese.
Interesting. Right. I like both of those.
I like both of those, exactly. So you see some hints of blue. I'll show the camera.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if that was just like rind that seeped in.
It kind of looks like that. Yeah, we have some hints of blue right down here. It's very exciting. And, you know, I'm excited to get into this cheese. It's going to be more of a crumbly cheddar than a blue. I think the blue's going to be a bit more subtle with it.
Okay.
The rind, again, is going to be quite earthy. Just to
love that's the code word.
Yeah, just going to preface that. You don't have to eat the rind. I will eat the rind.
I will not eat the rind.
But I asked the monger, who I got the cheese from, if he had any recommendations. And he said a pickled vegetable is nice. He said pickled carrots. I'm not going to eat carrots. Also, I couldn't find pickled carrots. So instead, I have pickled asparagus, which I will say I tried. I tried one sample of it, mind you. Only one, because I knew I only needed one. Unlike some folks. It's quite good. It's very good. Carolyn, first, what are your thoughts with a cheese with pickled asparagus?
So, the rind of the cheese is terrifying, and I have learned from all of our cheese explorations that a natural rind is not for me.
Of course.
So I'm a little scared of that, but I like cheddar. Mm-hmm. I am newer in life to pickled things. I'm learning to really like them.
Of course.
And I like asparagus, but I'm often like, wow, I don't really want asparagus right now. And so pickled asparagus at lunchtime is a choice.
It feels like a double whammy, right? Of course.
But I'm sure I'll like it so much more than 2 of the cheeses you made me eat.
And you know what? I think so too. What was before the torta de casar? Oh, it was the marbled goat.
I like the marbled goat, yeah, but before that was the
Tome de Savoie. Speaking of funky, let's try this cheese.
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe I'll be snacking on this asparagus because it's quite good.
With a kick. I like a kick.
I
like a kick.
I knew you'd like a kick. Ooh, look at that. There's a little vein of blue down the middle.
That's kind of terrifying. That looks...
Show the camera right now. Don't worry, I'll cut you...
That looks like a little rat crawled in there and shat.
No, that's quite a description. A lot of shit talk. What's up with that?
Let's dial it back.
All right, so yeah.
This is so scary looking.
I know. Let me cut you a piece that is not the rind.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Or the worm tail.
Okay.
You know how when shrimp shit and it's in their spine?
Yes, I'm aware of that.
That's exactly what that looks like.
I don't know about... Okay, well, I kind of see what you mean there.
Okay, wait, this smells kind of good.
Let me get some notes there. Yeah.
Way less earth than what I've had to endure.
Right, yeah. I'm getting a lot of cheddar. It's definitely side. I'm not getting much blue, but I mean, we have one.
It might be in the vein.
We may have to do the vein.
Shall we?
Yeah, to the red rock.
Cheers. I can eat that, guys.
Yeah. A little earthy, yeah.
It's like the maximum earth I can handle. This is the outer limit.
Right, yeah. No, it's earthy, yes, earthy enough before it gets scary, yeah.
It's like if for the novice cheese tasters, if you bought a yellow block of cheddar, okay, and then it had a baby with Parmesan, and then you left it near a skunk, but the skunk only added like 5%. That's what it tastes like.
See, I see the yellow block of cheddar. I see the Parmesan notes. I would say it's like yellow cheddar Parmesan had a baby.
Yeah.
And then they buried it.
And it rotted.
Well, it did, not saying rot, but like they just left it there for like a little bit. Maybe there's a worm that was like hanging around it.
Some mites.
Yeah. So a mole.
Yeah.
A mole was just digging down there. It's like, oh, whoa. We got cheese down here. What the hell?
It does, yeah. Like they buried it in the ground and left it a little long.
Actually, if you look closely, those are actually mole scratches on the top.
I was doing good with it.
But moles are fun. Moles are cute.
Now this looks like the shrimp poop that you clean out when you're cleaning shrimp.
We will have to try the vein.
I don't know that I can eat that. With that visual. And then you just talked about moles.
The rind is quite earthy. Man. Well, let's get into the asparagus though. Yeah. I'm excited for the asparagus.
No, this is the outer limit of my earthiness, but I'm proud to push myself in that way.
Yeah.
I cannot eat the shrimp tail.
Ooh, yeah, asparagus is so good. Let's see, we do a few things. I think we use the southern knife and we can cut it up into a smaller piece. I think I will have to try the vein.
That's why you're here.
That's why I'm here.
Try the veins that I can't.
As the monger. Do you want this one as a touch of the vein here?
No.
Okay.
It can taste like it, I just can't look like it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Ethan's very accommodating, guys.
Yeah, I have to be. I am the cheesemonger. All right, now let me try.
See what you're gonna eat. You gonna go vein?
Yeah,
vein and rind.
I think I'm gonna.
Oh my god!
I think I gotta do the double wing.
Show the picture. This is his and hers.
his and hers. All right, let's give it a try. I really hate that you did the shrimp comparison.
No, now it's totally unappetizing, right?
Yeah, I
didn't know I could turn you off that much from a cheese.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with me this morning. Maybe the 5-hour energy.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Good with the pickled asparagus. If you do it my way, delish. How's it going in Flavor Town?
The asparagus is very good. I do
brightness, acidity.
I do love the asparagus. Actually, I may just snack on this during your
vegetable.
Cut the cameras.
Guys, we're gonna come back and he has 800 of these lined up in his room.
Yeah,
his diet.
I spent $3,000 only on pickled asparagus.
And he's like, I don't need to eat for the rest of the year.
yeah. This is all the veggies I need. So flavor wise, it's interesting. The asparagus, it took away a lot of the flavor cheese. I feel like the asparagus dominated the flavor more.
I thought there wasn't enough asparagus. I had to go back for more.
Interesting, huh? But I think it was after I finished chewing, where I got some of that earthy note.
You should try some of this just blue cheese, but no rind.
Yeah. Let me try this bit. You really... I don't know why the shrimp thing is getting me, but that really...
I didn't know it could happen.
I didn't know you could get icked. Yeah, what's going on? I'm the cheese guy. I gotta eat all cheese.
It's loud.
Yeah. Actually, I was really smart using that one. Yeah, I'm the cheese guy. I'm gonna eat any cheese, and I will like it. Actually, it's quite better. It is better than I thought.
Does it taste bluey?
It's very subtle. Yeah, I think that the cheddar is, of course, the most dominating flavor.
Okay, I'll be brave.
Yeah. It's not as bad. Yeah, I think once you get past it, it is like...
Oh, they kind of taste good together.
Yeah, it does really work itself out.
I spread one of my sensory icks to Eythen.
Yeah, wow. Huh, okay.
Guys, I can actually eat this one.
Yeah.
Wait, the asparagus kind of makes it all sing.
The asparagus, again, I think is the lifesaver here.
With a little bit of the blue in there with the asparagus too?
Yeah.
I like this cheese. This is an interesting tale of a pairing. Really elevating it. Because on its own, it's like a little too like creamy. The texture wasn't awesome.
Right.
It was a little too coating of my tongue. It didn't seem that exciting. I was like, it's yellow cheddar and Parmesan laid in the dirt.
Yeah.
But with the pickled asparagus, it's the acidity and brightness and the brine, it has a little bit of kick.
It's a game changer.
I'm seeing the magic of a pairing.
I don't know why I'm not getting as excited about this cheese, because there's a lot of things that should be working here. The blue, again, is like, it's subtle enough to not overpower. The cheddar is like a nice crumbly cheddar. Like asparagus, again, as like you've said, and I agree, is like so...
I'm doing the happy dance.
Yeah, it's so lovely. But I'm not... I don't think I'm committed yet. I don't know if I'm disappointed in the cheese or myself. It's so hard to say, because like it should work out, and I think it is, but I don't love it. I don't love it.
I'm licking my fingers.
The asparagus definitely elevates it, but like I don't love it.
I would never eat this cheese if it weren't under the already created social pressure of this podcast dynamic, and just gratitude that this is way more palatable than what I've had to endure.
Right. What would you rate this?
I mean, it's not hitting a 3.
No,
I would call it like a 2.5, just in that, maybe a 2. In that it's not so like inaccessible. If you cut off the rind, if you put it with something,
right,
a more beginner cheese palate can stomach it. So it's at least a 2 for that.
Yeah.
I don't mind the marketing if it's a cheese and it's a blue.
Yeah, no, I mean it makes sense. It's a fun pairing. I think I'm at a 1.5.
Wow.
Yeah, which again, it's like, it feels disheartening to say, but I think 1.5 on its own, 2 with the asparagus.
Yeah, wow. I'm happy to call it. Oh yeah, on its own, I'll call it a 2.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
And a 2.5 with the asparagus.
Yeah, I think the asparagus bumps it up for sure. The asparagus though, 5 out of 5.
Yeah, it's really good.
This, we'll say again, this asparagus fucks. This asparagus
and
fucks.
Eythen found a vegetable.
And I found a vegetable. I found a cheese that I didn't love. And
hey, Pacific Pickle Works, look out for a DM.
Yeah, please send us all your asparagus and all your, if you got pickles, that'd be good. And that's it.
That's cheese time.
That's cheese time.
Wow, that was something. Watching you dislike a cheese.
Yeah, I feel like I had an existential crisis during our cheese time.
Yeah, I feel like it broke your will a little bit.
Yeah, and you think I need something to fix that?
No, Eythen Anthony. Thank God I prepared the most delicious palate cleanser, feel good piece of media that I've maybe ever seen.
Oh my God! Wait, I think we're thinking the same one.
1,
2, 3.
Pitch
Chicken Little.
Perfect.
Oh, it's Pitch Perfect.
It's Pitch Perfect. Guys, it's finally my Pitch Perfect episode.
Oh, not the Pitch Perfect episode.
Why the girls? What's your relationship with Pitch Perfect?
I think acapella is overrated.
Sure. You don't even have to like acapella at all to enjoy the movie.
Well, I don't think that's true at all.
What? Okay, let me talk about this film.
So I could go and be an acapella hater and like... Okay, I'm sorry. Well, why do you say that?
Pitch Perfect, 2012, is the perfect time capsule sorority campus life game with wonderful music and a great rom-com love story to root for. It's everything I could ever want in media.
Now, I get you're right. I guess like I've only seen bits and pieces of Pitch Perfect.
What? So never seen the whole thing?
No, I've never seen it.
Whoa, nail it. We'll do a trade soon.
We'll do a trade.
I'll watch something for you, and you'll watch Pitch Perfect. You're buddy. It's medicinal.
It's medicinal to watch Pitch Perfect.
Yeah,
I
was sick, ill, toddler cough, bedridden, coughing my brains out from my 1-year-old, and I was like, what am I gonna do? I could watch Pitch Perfect. By the end of the movie, a healed woman. Pitch Perfect is, I think, my favorite movie. I was at work with my 65-year-old Brooklyn coworker grandfather, And he asked me, the kids were sleeping, we were chatting. He's like, what's your favorite movie?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, because I knew the answer was Pitch Perfect. But I was like, how am I going to tell this man that it's Pitch Perfect and how am I going to sell him on it?
Right.
And so he's like, oh, what did he say his was? Oh, he was like, yeah, mine's probably Pulp Fiction.
Oh.
And I was like, so, mine is a comedy film about a female a cappella group at a fictional college and how a newcomer who really wants to bring the group into the new era faces backlash from the social dynamics. Meanwhile, she's falling for a boy, and it's all to incredible 2012 pop music, and it's comedy, and it's heartfelt. And he was like, they're singing?
Wait. Sorry, you said something that I need to ask about.
Yeah.
What do you mean the new era? Like new era of acapella?
Oh my God, I'm so glad you asked. So here's what's going down.
Mm-hmm.
The Barden Bellas.
Okay.
They are the all-female a cappella group at this college. This college has like 4 a cappella groups.
Which every college needs.
Right. Emory had more than that. The movie opens with them at the International a cappella Finals.
Okay.
And they're doing their little set. They're all in their like flight attendant outfits, like skirt business suits.
Mm-hmm.
And they have the pitch pipe. And they're doing the song, and the commentators in the booth are like, boo, this is boring. And then one of the girls who's singing a solo gets so nervous that she hurls. The movie opens with projectile vomit.
Okay, and you enjoyed it?
No, I know how to close my eyes every time.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
I saw it one time when I was 12, and I've never seen that scene again because a bitch knows when to close her eyes. We flash forward 4 months. It's a new semester. Mm-hmm. It's fall. A new girl, a freshman, is showing up at school. She's like edgy. She's alt. She has her headphones on. She's Anna Kendrick. She's like mixing beats on her computer. Mm-hmm. A car pulls up while she's like unloading her dad's car, and a guy is in the backseat playing an air guitar, singing along to "Carry On My Wayward Son." Mm-hmm. And he like makes eye contact with her and does a little dorky guitar riff, and she's like, back to her music.
Right. Now, spoiler: is this gonna be the love interest?
Yeah.
Now, I feel like an a cappella singer dating a air guitarist is like a Romeo and Juliet kind of like love story.
Here's the thing. Becca's not an a cappella singer yet, and here's what you missed on Glee. We open with that montage. We're in a whole different world. That was like opening lore.
Oh, okay.
We're like back to school. Freshmen are here. Mm-hmm. We go to the club fair. Our main girl, Becca, she's our protagonist. She's like, school's kind of hard. My dad's making me go. We learned that her dad is a professor and is like...
At the school.
At the school.
Yeah.
You're here for free. You need to try to do some classes. And she's like, I don't want to go to college. I want to move to LA and make music. And he's like...
Oh my God.
He's like, no, Becca, you're getting a free education. You need to try a little bit. Go to the campus or go to the activities fair and make some friends.
Right.
It doesn't have to be that hard. So little edgelord Becca, Anna Kendrick, walks to the activities fair. And all these a cappella groups are campaigning. So now we're in the a cappella world. Okay. The a cappella groups are campaigning. And the girl who threw up in our opening montage, she's now like the junior running the club. And all like the hot, good singing girls have graduated. And so we had these 2 girls who blew it at the finals last year trying to recruit for a new year of the Barden Bellas. Yeah. And no one's really interested. They've been really mean girls. They've been like sorority. You have to be white. You have to have like the skinny body. You have to, be stereotypically hot. It's 2012 hot.
Right. Yeah. Acapella hot.
Acapella hot. Yeah. And so they're trying to recruit people. Rebel Wilson enters as an insanely named character, Fat Amy.
Christ.
That's her character the whole movie. And she says, yeah, so twig bitches like you don't say it behind my back. That's all the writers give us to call her Fat Amy for the whole movie.
Oh, man.
Crazy. She hasn't picked up, and now she's a skinny legend, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that, yeah.
And then we meet the boy a cappella group. Do you know Adam Devine from Workaholics?
I do, and I'm aware of his story with getting the audition for...
I saw that reel.
Yeah, I saw that reel.
He plays like the bad boy of the boy a cappella group. Now, the boy a cappella group is grade A hotties. Quote. They're not. It's 2012.
2012 hotties.
2012 Hollywood Extra hotties.
Yeah.
And they're like the bad boys. They have like, they match pitch and they sing Whip It. And then they're like...
And they're smoking cigarettes outside.
No, because they're vocal cords.
Right, of course. Yeah, right. They're vaping outside.
So we meet these groups and we see Jessie, the love interest, like check out the a cappella group. It is like organized nerd singing. Awesome. And Ben Platt, Dear Evan Hansen.
He's in this movie?
He's in this movie. This is his breakout role as like the awkward, nerdy roommate of the love interest.
Man, I can never see Ben Platt in that role. That is crazy.
He's young. His sideburns are big. His hair is grown up.
Shade.
And our love interest Jesse goes into his dorm room, and Ben Platt, Benji, has already moved in and has Star Wars stuff everywhere. He's into close-up magic. He's hiding in a box. He's like true weird kid energy.
Yeah.
Benji is a huge Troublemakers fan, and he wanted to go to this college to go to this a cappella group. And he's too weird and he doesn't get in.
Oh wait, Troublemakers are the bad boys.
The hotties. Hot boys. The Bart and Bellas is the girls.
Yeah.
And the Troublemakers are the boys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rough. Okay.
So then we have an audition. So they're handing out flyers at the club fair. Then we have an audition montage. This is one of my favorite montages ever. It is Since You've Been Gone as an audition song with all the different voices coming in and out. We've got Rebel Wilson singing some of it. We've got Jessie, played by Skylar Astin, who can actually sing, giving us tenor, mixed belt, orgasmic joy.
Okay.
And then everyone's auditioning and like the groups are watching and it ends and we haven't seen Anna Kendrick yet because she's too cool for a cappella, right?
Right.
But at the last minute, after like everyone's shutting down, she walks in and she's like, I didn't know I had to prepare that song. And one of the girls is like, it's okay, sing whatever you'd like. And she does.
The Cup song. I got my ticket for the lonely ride. There's something on the way.
Totally.
Yeah.
We get the Cup song.
The most iconic bit from the movies.
From the 2012 era.
Yeah.
Name something more 2012 than the Cup song.
Yeah, fuck, there's nothing.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
She auditions and with her unique, quirky, I'm Not Like Other Girls song. Mm-hmm. And then we flash forward to everyone getting accepted into the clubs. I'm going to move past the plot, but this is just your setup.
Yeah.
We have like the reveal of who got initiated, and it's like blood from a cup, and it's candles, and it's like culty. Mm-hmm. And the girls are like, here are all the girls, everyone made it. Here are all the boys. Ben Platt didn't make it because he was too weird.
Yeah. Okay,
so now we have this setup of these two different teams are both all competing to go to nationals. Like they're gonna do the competition a cappella circuit.
And there isn't like a like male bracket or female bracket.
No, yeah, they compete against each other.
Like
traditionally, the women do worse, quote, because they don't have the low bass notes because the female voices can't typically go as low.
I see, yeah.
And so we had this like these setup plots of the a cappella group is working toward winning, and they have like a super bass Nicki Minaj training montage, and there's like the different archetypes. There's like they got a ragtag group of girls. They didn't get the classic grade A hotties who follow in line and conform. They've got like a mix of body types and a mix of races and a mix of gender identities, like or sexual orientations, all of it. And Becca's over here being like, what we're doing is lame. We're doing like lame songs with lame choreography so that the girl who puked can redeem herself.
Right.
No, what if we like cut in another song while you were singing, and like they go to a competition and she in real time like adds in a sub line, like a counterverse. Of a song she's singing compared to the rest, and it like is a huge upset. And this was her whole thing of like, I want to liven up this music. So we're progressing in the plot line of competition. They keep getting like second place, and the Troublemakers keep getting like first place.
Right.
To move on, and the performances are just, I mean, there's 30-minute supercuts of Pitch Perfect with just the songs. Highly recommend.
So, I'm sorry, I'm just going to butt in again real quick. I think before you started, I was like, I don't like acapella. And you said, don't worry, there's not a lot of acapella in here. And I feel like all you said is acapella.
But it doesn't feel like acapella.
What does it feel like?
It feels like musical theater. It doesn't seem like, when you're watching it, it's not really like, oh, and they're doing it all with their mouths. It's kind of like movie musical.
Okay.
It like doesn't have the vibe of like, y'all are really letting me sit in your sound waves you're sharing in a semicircle.
Gotcha. Okay, so
like,
yeah.
It's really just like the world building of we have a reason to sing and we have a reason to like have the stakes increase because we're competing.
Right, and I see what you mean when you said the new era of like acapella.
Yes, because Becca wants to bring in like hip hop and rap, and there's this epic scene where they're all in an empty swimming pool and they have the riff off, which is an acapella tradition. Where in this empty swimming pool, all the groups gather like late at night. They spin the wheel to get a category.
Oh, I've seen this clip.
Yes, and you have to sing a song, and the next group can cut you off by starting on the word you end on in the genre.
Yeah.
And so
and one of these motherfuckers sings their own song. Sings it.
No, that's Pitch Perfect too.
Oh no! Okay, cut that.
So basically, they're singing like oh, Mickey, you're so fine, you blow my mind. That's what the trebles are doing. And then, like, the stoner group comes in and sings a different song. And it's this huge medley. And Becca comes in with a rap song. And everyone else is singing, like, ballads. And she sings No Diggity, and she raps it. Because, you know, she's a cool girl who raps.
Right, for sure.
And, like, the whole crowd actually really enjoys it, and everyone sings along, and it's, like, this cool moment. And then afterwards, she said it's instead of it. She gets disqualified, and the leader of the group is like, see, this is why you can't go against the grain. You lost the competition for us. And this girl has, like, daddy issues. She's working out, perfectionism.
The
like,
one that threw up.
The one who puked.
Yeah.
And Anna Kendrick's like, sorry, that was actually really cool, and I just want you to be less lame. But then, so this is happening, they're mounting. Meanwhile, she's having this growing romance with Jesse. They both work at a record shop. They have an internship, sorting records. Becca's trying to put her mixes on the air, and the guy in charge doesn't care. So she keeps handing him flash drives of her mixes. They're competing. All of this culminates after this big competition where Becca put in the subverse.
Yeah.
The boys get the trophy. A fight breaks out in the lobby over the trophy. Like, people just want to fight.
Yeah.
Becca she's the one who the cops pick up. She goes to jail. Jesse comes to pick her up. He called her dad, who works at the university, and they have like a huge, don't get to call my dad. You're not my boyfriend. So the romantic plot is stopped.
Yeah.
We have another competition. There is a lot of, it's not a cappella vibes though. It's a lot of performances. It's a lot of collegiate musical performance.
That does not, you're not selling me on that.
Everyone gets to go to nationals. They almost don't make it, but then someone gets disqualified, so they get to go in. The group's back together. Becca's not allowed. She shows up. Aubrey's like, I can lose control, and finally pukes on purpose. She's like, I don't have to hold my puke down, and she pukes again. There are 2 puke shots, which you would think would turn me off. Right, but again, I know to close my eyes.
That's wild, yeah.
Anyway, it all gets fixed at the big national competition.
And the girls win? The
girls decided to let Becca have some control. She makes a fire fucking medley of all different genres. The choreography's different. Their outfits got cooler. And she and Jesse like really had a big fight. He won't talk to her. He is trying to get her to watch movies. He's like, I want to score movies. You have to watch all these classic films. And Becca's like, I don't like movies. They're predictable. I never make it to the end.
Oh my God.
And Jesse shows her The Breakfast Club. He's like, fine, we'll just watch the ending. And she's like, I don't really get it. She listens to it while they're not talking. She like sobs to it. Becca uses the final song from The Breakfast Club, Don't You Forget About Me.
Yeah.
As like the climax of the medley she wrote. And because Jesse's there with the troublemakers, he's like, oh my God, she did it for me. She watched the movie. That's how they get back together, is because she performs his song. He's in the audience. He does the fist when she does it in the choreography. The girls crush it. The girls win. The boy and the girl get back together. New creative ideas won. The boys were taken down. The Adam Devine drops out because he got a backup singing deal in LA, and he leaves the boys. And they're like, oh my God, we need a last minute understudy.
Oh my God.
Benji.
Let's get Benji on the line.
And Jesse's like, and you just can't be weird. And he's like, I don't know what you mean. And then like a bird lands on his shoulder, and he's like, I know what you mean.
All right, that's a good bet. And
so he gets to have the solo, and everyone sings, and it's pretty much ended. And then the movie closes with a flash forward of the next semester, and the existing girls like auditioning the next round of people. So it ends with like the beginning of the next year's audition cycle.
I see.
And that's Pitch Perfect. Now, what I love about it, the music, the humor, it's funny. And it's like a throwback 2012 humor. Again, there's a character named Fat Amy. Yeah. Everything she says is not appropriate to say today and really funny. Adam Devine's character like hits on her at a party. Yeah. He's like, you are the most disgusting woman I've ever seen, so I have a feeling we should kiss. And Rebel Wilson goes, sometimes I have the feeling that I should do crystal meth, but then I think better not.
That's a good line.
There's a lot of good lines. Yeah. And then the other characters in the acapella group, because there's like 10 of them. So all the other characters have a name and a shtick and like a story.
Right.
It's awesome. It's medicinal, like I said. If I'm having a bad day, you can catch me watching Pitch Perfect. And the thing is, this is why it's my favorite movie, is because it's always the right time for me to watch it. Do I think it's the best written movie in the world? No. Is there ever a time where you could ask me, do you want to watch Pitch Perfect? And I would say no. Literally none. It could be like I just said goodbye to my mother who died, and someone would be like, you want to watch Pitch Perfect? And I'd be like, yeah. I could have just like had a limb amputated. Yeah,
let's watch Pitch Perfect.
Let's watch Pitch Perfect. Trump gets a third term. I'm watching it 8 times in a row. Anyway, That's why it's my favorite movie.
Mm-hmm.
Not because it's the pinnacle of film, but because, I think it's a tight, like, I do think it's a well-constructed, I think the narrative structure is good, I think the musical elements are good, I like the way they use music as a real-world device, as opposed, sometimes in musicals, it's like, why did you break into song?
Right.
Because they're an a cappella group, it's always contextually based. That's kind of the perk of it being an a cappella group, is like, well, you have a reason to give us a song, because you're at a competition.
Right.
You're not just singing because you were in the shower and we're looking in the mirror, although there is a shower singing sequence. But again, that makes sense because a girl's singing in the shower and someone opens the curtain on her. It's like, oh my God, you can sing. Do you like any movie musical? Or you
I love movie musicals. Singing in the Rain. I love The Young Girls of Rochefort.
What is that?
Oh, it's a great French musical. I may talk about that one on a different episode.
Yeah, I love movie musicals. Singing in the Rain and the French one.
Well, those are both great ones. Those are both fantastic.
Do you like campy ones like Hairspray?
I haven't seen Hairspray. Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah?
Yeah, I love Little Shop of Horrors. And that's it, yeah.
I just love, like, the campy unseriousness, because it feels like it would be brain rot, but it's not, because there is heart, and there's, like, the jokes are funny.
Right.
It's not just brain rot, but it's, like, the comfort of brain rot. It's, like, the feeling I get from 8 episodes of Below Deck, but higher brow. Because, you know, Pitch Perfect's pretty highbrow.
Pretty highbrow, yeah.
And the singing, and the music, and it's like being at a concert, and you root for them. And I cry. I cry every time at the ending. So, are you going to watch Pitch Perfect with me?
I would watch Pitch Perfect.
Really?
I'd watch Pitch Perfect. You're always so persuasive. I would watch it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And I'll listen to a song.
Yeah. Maybe an album?
I'll listen to 2 songs.
And we'll make it 6. All right.
Guys, what a whirlwind episode.
I feel like every episode gets a little more chaotic.
It gets a little more authentic to who we really are.
Period. Say that again.
Period. It gets a little more authentic to who we really are.
It gets a little more authentic to who we are.
Don't love me normally. Be a freak with me. That's what the album was about.
Cheers.
Cheers.
No, I'm good.
Wow, guys, that's a wrap on episode 11.
Episode 11 of That Tracks. Carolyn, if folks were curious about what you're up to, where could they find you?
You can find me at Carolyn Ausler. And I'm not going to spell it because you know how. At Carolyn Ausler on Instagram.
I can spell.
Yeah.
It's CarolynOursler.
On Instagram. Eythen, your Instagram is?
My Instagram is Eythen Anthony, because that's my last name. Spelled...
Eythen_Anthony.
Eythen_Anthony, sorry.
Someone took Eythen Anthony?
Yeah, it's a very popular name.
Spelled your way?
Yeah.
Huh. I thought you were the only EYTHEN.
I am. But it's EYTHEN_ANTHONY. And if you want to look at podcast clips and reels and whatnot, and all the cool, funky stuff, check out our Instagram there at that.tracks with a Z, very important, .pod. Also, if you're like, fuck Instagram, I'm only on TikTok. Well, buddy, let me tell you, we got a TikTok too, and that exact same spelling, right? With periods.
Sir.
With periods, I always forget.
Like, comment, get freaky in the comments, get wacky.
It gets super freaky. I want the comments to be so freaky. My mom has to text me going like, Eythen, have you seen some of these? These are kind of
freaky.
They're kind of wild. And I'm like, yeah, I know. We asked for it.
Guys, keep listening. Tell a friend, like and subscribe.
Tell an enemy. Tell
an enemy. We welcome hate watch. We're getting pretty open about it. If you want to be a hater, that's fine. Welcome on in.
Exactly.
You'll get addicted to hating us.
Yeah. The first person who really hates us gets to be our next guest.
Yeah. The biggest hater comes on episode 12.
Yeah. Exactly.
Guys, have an awesome week, and we'll see you next Wednesday.
Have a good one, guys.
Bye.
Bye.